Hello. I'm still not doing this again. This is the second time we tried recording it. I'm still decided I'm not going to do it. But this is Wiki from the Weeklies podcast. I am here today to talk to you guys about the review and also the other three members of this podcast of The Boy and the Beast, an anime movie that Frenchie over here assigned, and I'm so thankful that you did that. I really appreciate you, and I love you. Please let me suck you. I mean...
Head, the musical.
Go check out our last episode for context.
Indeed. What's up, y'all? This is Frenchie. So, yeah, I'm doing anime movies this year, and when we did Crimson's last episode with the top 25 anime movies of all time, this one seemed really interesting. Wiki was really excited about it, so I decided to roll with this one. It came down to this, and I think one of the Studio Ghibli films, and I'm like, do something a little different. And fuck am I happy I did. I love this movie.
It was so good.
This is probably now my second favorite anime movie of all time.
With first being, of course, The GOAT,
Yes.
Your Name.
Your Name.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the big things that right off the bat, when we heard the two voices of Kumatetsu's friends as they're explaining the story, when I heard Ian Sinclair, I immediately knew this was going to be a good movie.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
I also thought that.
Just the fucking cast
Yeah.
of this movie. Like,
Stacked.
Kyuta slash Ren's two voice actors are Lucy Christian and Eric Vale.
AKA Brooke and Nami.
Sanji and Nami.
Sanji Nami. I always get Eric Vale and fucking Ian Sinclair mixed up. Because they look
but Brooke is
almost exactly identical.
Yeah. Eric Vale now has super long hair though.
Ah.
Ian Sinclair is is Tatara the monkey though. John Swayze as Kumatetsu, our good friend John Swayze.
Mm-hmm. Bryn April as the chick.
Mhm.
So Bryn, she's the voice of Mimosa in
I love those.
Black Clover, and she's also
Mimosa
the voice.
guy.
She's also the voice of Anya in Spy Family dub.
I still think that's funny. That's now my nickname at Anime Iowa.
Mimosa guy.
Mimosa guy.
Hugh Kishiba is Alex Organ, who's the voice of Lloyd as well.
Mm-hmm.
From the Disney show?
No, from Spy
Lloyd in
Family.
Space? Oh.
Jesse James.
You know what I'm
or
talking
Jesse
about?
Guerrero
High
was
five,
in
my
it.
dude.
Mm.
Morgan Berry. Brittany Karbowski, the GOAT. Fucking love Brittany Karbowski.
And even like his dad was played by fucking Chuck Huber.
And Chico is Monica Real.
Yeah, but Chico like didn't talk.
Well, I'm saying yes, but regardless, like
She
this
just
was a
came in the
fat
booth and
stack.
just went.
Dude, Chuck is also our dude. He's so fucking cool.
This was
I
a
loved his
fat
interview.
stack of cast.
And the story got better and better as the movie went on.
Oh
too.
yeah, it got very sad.
I-
Fun fact: if you had a family member pass away recently, don't watch this movie.
Especially like that's like a fatherly type figure.
Yeah, don't
Like
watch
paternal.
this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even, not even that. Also, it's got a lot of like parental issue stuff going on here
Yeah.
too. Like, it's fucking rough.
This gave me when it first started. The first thing I thought of was Spirited Away
I
thought
also
that
thought
too.
that too.
because of like going to a different land and through this weird portal. And,
Shitty
like, everything.
parents.
I like
Shitty
this better
parents.
than Spirited Away.
I agree.
I agree too. Weirdly
Which is,
enough.
I feel like a hard like this. I feel like to our fans, it's probably gonna be like a hot take.
I'd
we
probably have
like
to
this
rewatch
movie
Spirited
better
Away.
than a Ghibli movie.
It's been a long time since I've watched Spirited Away. I think I need to like re-educate myself. on
Maybe
it.
I'll do that in my next assignment.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, a lot of tough themes in here that were
Mhm.
just stupid good.
Mhm.
I do get a sense of Spirited Away though when you mention that.
Yeah.
So the character design in this one kind of reminded me a mixture of Ghibli and like the good parts of Devilman Crybaby.
This gave
I
me
was thinking
something
that or Sunny Boy.
so much different.
That one as well.
I was thinking
Yeah.
a Sunny Boy mixed with Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The hair was a lot like Samurai Shampoo.
and Sam, the hair is what made me think of Devilman Crybaby.
Okay, maybe
Oh
not.
yeah, true.
So I was gonna. This ones these reminded me of Samurai Champloo, the one I just shed a second ago. That I think you said. What was it? What was
Sunny Boy.
Sunny Boy, Samurai Champloo, and or Eden of the East.
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree.
It gave me the vibe of that art style.
Yeah.
All in conjoined. I fucking love Eden of the East. I want to rewatch that. But yeah, I fucking love the art style. I love the character designs in this show. I love the
voice acting.
Dude, it's everything about this show is so fucking good.
This is gonna be a hot take. This is almost a perfect movie.
It's pretty damn close.
It's very close. I would say, I would say this is very close to being a perfect movie. Kind of like how Violet Evergarden is almost the perfect anime.
Yeah. I mean, this was one that as soon as the movie started, and it's like all the flames start, and it's like
It's beautiful.
that monologue, and it's kind of explaining the God reincarnation system.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we got there, I was like, all right, this is gonna.
I'm bumping up my scores right now.
Gonna be a
I'm
badass
bumping
movie.
up my scores.
The
right
world building in this movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
Explaining
This
like-
movie was released 9 years ago, 2015.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the world building, they do enough to like establish stuff about our world. They don't really need to do a whole lot, and I'm glad they focus more.
There is a Burger King.
Yeah, but the establishing of the hierarchy in the Beast world is so fucking well done.
Yeah.
Also, did
fuck.
everyone else guess that kid was a human from the first time you saw him?
Yeah.
I was wondering because of his hat. I was like,
Yeah.
why does he have a hat on?
Every time he was bitching about the main guy being a human, I kept looking at him, being like,
Are
"But
you not?
aren't you human?"
Dude.
Yeah.
I wore
Like-
these same socks yesterday.
Like,
Dude, I'm struggling. I'm bumping it up. I'm doing it.
there was no
This is
point
bad.
where I thought he was
This is so bad.
like a warthog
Yeah.
like the rest of his family. He just wore a
That's
hat.
so
of it.
bad.
The weird thing is, like,
So bad.
I want to talk about it, but this is a movie that, like, you have to experience it. Like, just talking, I feel like talking about it is an injustice to this movie. Like, you have to watch it.
But we have to talk about it.
I know we have to talk about it, but I don't
It's
want
tough
to get
to
into, like,
properly explain like the themes and the elements of this movie.
yeah.
And
But
well,
also,
the
I
visuals
don't.
are such a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
But also, I don't want to get into like too many spoilers for it either, because like I know
this
again,
is a review.
I know like that's our whole shtick.
We have to. So just
But
know
I-
we're about to talk about stuff. This is a fucking huge spoiler warning. Stop listening.
If you're
have-
if you're listening or / watching a review of a show, you should be expecting spoilers. So this is really on you.
Yeah.
At no
And
point
Crimson.
at no point in our podcast did we ever claim to be a spoiler-free reviewers.
That's fair.
With
that said,
but even that, like, even the foreshadowing in this was really good. Like when he was learning about Moby Dick, I was not expecting that to actually manifest when the other kid became a whale.
I was surprised
nuts.
that the fact that we know humans can have powers too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but they had to like I don't know how they trained for it exactly.
Well, the Bunny Lord, the reason that he, admits that he knew that the other one was human was because he was explaining that humans actually have better telekinesis than beasts do.
Mm-hmm.
So humans not only have powers, but we actually have better powers, like stronger powers than beasts
beasts
do
do.
when it comes to like
Yeah.
the emotional and mental stuff. Because it seems like the beasts, they're more of a physical aspect because they turn into,
Which
whatever,
that's fucking
whatever
cool.
animal that they're.
That
they
is
are.
fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, yeah. The two fights between Bear Dude and Boar Dude, I can't remember anybody's names, but they were both awesome when they.
Kumatetsu and Jignish.
Once I learned that one dude, that kid, could do telekinesis when he had that little confrontation with Kyuta outside their home, and he had those rocks and like hit Kyuta's face, and then started beating him up.
Yeah.
So, oh, this guy's got powers. Interesting. I've never seen anyone else in this world that has that. That's kind of cool. Didn't think anything of it. I thought he looked weird, but I didn't think he was human for sure. You know what I mean?
It's just gravity manipulation.
And-
It can't hurt you.
I
Just a gun.
then went on to where I was just watching the show, and then the fight happened for the Lord, and then
Between
seeing
Yozen and Komatsu.
Katametsu win, and then seeing that sword disappear in that moment, I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah.
I just finally remembered why I recognize Yozen's voice. He's Goldie Roger.
Hell yeah.
That explains
He's also
it.
Ben Beckman, who is
Red hair pirate.
he's Shanks's number two guy.
Yeah.
His Zorro.
Nice.
So I was just like, "Fuck that! No, please don't, please don't." And then it happened. He got stabbed.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I know who did that.
Yep.
Oh no, 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 no.
I was so proud of Kyuta for not giving in to revenge, though.
Dude, that was just a good
Yeah.
fucking moment.
I thought he was about to obliterate
That's why I
that guy
bumped up
just right
my
in front of
stuff
everybody.
so high. I was like, oh fuck, dude.
Because like it literally would have just been so easy to fall into that trope, and also the fact I didn't fall into the trope of no, I'm not going to go for revenge and I'm going to rescue you immediately.
Mm-hmm.
No, he actually had to like go and plan and figure out how he was going to do this, and Kumatetsu sacrificed himself. Like I'm really glad that it wasn't just everyone's happy in the end. There were sacrifices
Yeah,
that had to be made.
And
it was made so that his student would not sacrifice
yeah,
himself.
trying to intake the darkness. So the thing is, he didn't necessarily not give into the darkness. He was just accepting it that it was there and going to take advantage of it, the fact to help save someone else and still
Yep.
utilize the darkness so they both just disappear because they're not fit for that world.
Yep.
He still, in that moment, had hatred for himself and for things around him, and that's how you can acknowledge it, but the fact that he still had that in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still there, him giving into it, accepting it, going to take someone else's hate, so they both just disappear because they're not meant for this world, apparently. And then seeing his father come down, Kamatetsu, as a sword, that seeing that he gave up his life to be reincarnated into his soul sword, God, the God of his soul, basically. Him realizing then in that moment that he doesn't need this hatred. He needs love and acceptance and all that stuff. And seeing someone else in this world actually loves him and accepts him
Yeah.
makes him. It just changed the whole dynamic of that scene. And then being able to defeat that person with that and showing them themselves that the hatred is not the way.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
basically abolishing that from themselves.
And then he was able to just, go back home, and his family accepted him right back. They were just happy he was okay.
I really do hope that Kyuta goes back and forth in the world more often still. And also, it makes me happy because they are still, even though he got reincarnated as a god, him and his father, not his biological father, but
Bear Daddy.
his bear daddy, are going to be together forever now.
Yep.
So they will never not be with each other. They can still talk to each other because even though he's reincarnated, he's still there. He's still him. You know what I mean? He's still there. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that made me happy. He still had a sacrifice. He doesn't have his physical form, but they'll still be able to be there for each other and work as a team because they know that. Also, the fact that they know throughout the beginning of the show, they thought they had to be alone, do stuff alone, and then they met each other and realized that they can learn stuff from one another, and
Yep.
they're not always right in all that stuff. To where the whole training arc that they did, where Kyuta was like, okay, I can teach you how to read your opponent if you teach me how to use the sword and stuff like that. And that little dance they did, and they grew together and realized that through the father and son relationship, that not only can the father be the teacher and mentor, but the son can also teach the father things, which I think is a very valuable life lesson to
Mm-hmm.
people out there as parents. Not always thinking that you're right or wrong or right all the time, but you can also learn stuff from your children and stuff like that, which is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then them going through that and be like, yeah, I don't need to be alone. We need to do this as a team, because even when he realized when he was fighting, even though they were bickering, he was like, I can't defeat my rival to become Lord by myself.
Yep.
And it shows that they were fighting together, which made it so he can win. And that's when he knew in that moment that I don't have to do everything alone. And in that moment, that's when he realized I don't have to do everything alone. And then that's when he realized he needed to sacrifice himself for Kyuta. And then when he sacrificed himself from Kyuta and joined him, that's when Kyuta realized he doesn't have to do everything alone.
Which I love. Yeah, definitely. And I loved that moment when he made that decision, and he was hobbling in like near death, and everybody is like, we don't just reincarnate anybody. We only do it to a
Start trying to talk shit.
Yeah, we only do that to a lord. And then they're like, oh fuck.
He is the Lord. Are you sure you want to do this? I see the look, but the literally in the animation, or sorry, you could see the determination in this character's eyes, which was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then he became the sword, and I like later how the Lord that was gonna be reincarnated was like, I should have done this earlier.
I love that he was going to be the god of decisiveness.
Yeah, I laughed so loud. So I have decided after 9 years, I'm gonna be the god of decisiveness. And I was like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, that whole religion is fucked.
But I like how they.
decisiveness. Please help me decide what I
like-
should do.
You'll get
Well-
your answer within 7 to 10
Exactly.
business days.
Well, you've got some options. I know I have options. That's
Will
why
you
I'm
join our
coming to you.
religion? I'm undecided. You're perfect.
I love how they get to decide what god they get to become, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
That is. This movie's so good.
So good. It's so good.
It is.
But now they're gonna have
It's
to do a battle for the
beautiful.
Lord again, and then I guarantee that one Boar guy is gonna be the Lord. He's probably learned. He
Yeah,
probably
I mean-
learned stuff, which is also crazy. Not only did, Kamatetsu, I can't remember.
Kumatetsu.
Kumatetsu.
Just call him Kuma because it means
Yeah.
bear.
I'll call him Kuma. Not
I'll
only
just call
did
him Bear
Kuma
Dad.
learn stuff from that, and he was being taught stuff by his rival in terms of the good things that having a apprentice could do and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But also, I feel like that Boar dude, it's in front of my face.
It also wasn't picking you up well.
I'm doing better. Not only did Kuma learn from everybody else, but that Boar guy also learned stuff from Kuma after that battle,
Mhm.
which was pretty cool.
Kuma bear.
Pretty cool. I love this movie.
Yeah, it was.
Dude. Do I do it? Do I bump it up again?
I don't really think you can because I don't think it's that.
I do, but
Because like I don't think I could even give your name that high.
I mean, the question is like, where are you gonna put those extra points? You know.
dude, it's bad. It's bad. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm falling in love with it.
Right. Oh,
It's
man.
fine to have some bias, but in the end, I mean, for most of the other stuff, we have to try and
There's only one thing that has.
personal bias, and that's the personal enjoyment. I know.
See, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about all that.
I'm keeping it, dude. I can't.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We going into ratings now? Is that what it's...
I feel like there's a lot of dynamics to talk about with this movie, but like they're all going to be positive. Like we might as well just
Yeah.
talk about it in the ratings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did-
that's true.
I have no negative takeaways. Like I won't call the animation perfect. I think the character design is damn near perfect.
I think the animation for the way the design is for the show and what it is perfect for what it should be.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm not giving it a 10 personally, just because it's not on the level to me as like what we've seen from a Violet Evergarden, Demon Slayer show.
But that's
Man.
completely two different styles of anime with our style.
And I don't know if I even agree with you there, Freddy. Like, I'm going to say this now. I gave animation a 10, and that's including the fact that background characters were 3D models. But, like, the way that characters moved was amazing. The way that the shifts between, like, man and beast
The
was
animation for
amazing.
fire. And it all fit with the art style.
Yeah, the fire was beautiful. The like humans turning into the darkness was beautiful. Like even the holes popping up in their chest, and it was like you could actually see like the depth of the hole in their heart. You know, it wasn't just like a circle on their chest. It was actually like you could see it like sucking in, and like the way that the whale looked when it was not only just like jumping up and down, but it was just the shadow like looming around and destroying the city.
The
way that
explosions in the city were fucking great.
Yeah, and the way that the environments were designed and animated, like and you guys know when it comes to like 3D animation, environments are a big win for me because that's when the 3D really works because it actually makes it look real. And it's like, yeah, when they're running through the town and it's like, oh, there's a Burger King and a Starbucks, and just the way everything is animated, yeah, it just looked like it was a place that we could really walk around in. It was like I have to give the animation a 10.
I almost.
Like
Could you imagine the gaslighting that would have happened? It's like, we all saw a fucking whale. There was no fucking whale.
no whale. You expect me to believe that there was a giant watery whale flying through through fucking I
I
can't
know what
remember
you
where in
think you
Japan it
saw,
was in.
but you didn't see it.
Yeah.
That's
Shibuya
crazy.
was not attacked by a whale.
I just like he's like, a whale, huh? I'm gonna attack you with your favorite thing. I love the. I shit
Also,
him
how does
in-
he even know that was his book? He just found it on the ground.
Well, maybe he didn't know. He just read it as like, a whale, huh? Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with this.
Yep.
Also, do they have whales in the beast world? Like, do they have an entire civilization that has to live underwater?
I see no reason why not,
Mhm.
especially if
It's almost
The
like
beast-
Zootopia.
yeah, especially since the beast world is parallel to the human world in Japan. So I would assume the geography would be similar.
Mm-hmm.
So if you reach, like, there's got to be a shore, then an ocean. I would imagine. Although we didn't see any like bird people, so I guess I don't know 100%.
Well, we might have. We just put it in the background. They don't necessarily have to have wings. They could have wings when they transform.
True.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Because
Because
the
it-
boar dude had hands.
Yeah, I didn't see any like
He also
beaks
caught
or
those
feathers or
hands.
anything though. Everything seemed to be like land mammals. But I mean, I could be wrong.
Mammals. No, I didn't even think about that.
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love this movie.
Oh, and I also really liked that we found out that his human dad really was like looking for him all that time. That he wasn't as much of a deadbeat
Yep.
that he thought when he was 9. And he was like, "All right, you're gonna come. You're gonna live with me. I'm not gonna try super hard to, change your life. I'm gonna like let you be an individual. But we're gonna be a family again." And I assume that after all that happened, he did go and live with his human dad and have like
Yeah.
the human life that he was talking about with the girl. Where
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
The fact that you saw him bring groceries and look at his dad, like,
yeah. That was like the end of like an Adam Sandler movie.
it's so
Where
good.
it's like, This movie's awesome.
This movie's great.
It's such a good movie.
Should we get into ratings?
Sure.
I'm down.
All right. So personal enjoyment, I'm gonna give it a 4.
You're a liar and you know it.
This movie's trash.
Just call me Apollo because I'm playing the liar.
Mike keeps cutting in out there.
Just call me Apollo because I'm playing the liar. Is that better?
That's
Yep.
better.
Personal enjoyment, I gave a 10. This was a pretty easy decision on that one. Animation, I gave a 9. Like I said, I personally don't find it on the same level as some other things, but like I'm talking at a single point because it's still fantastic. Character development and world building are both 10s. I've talked at length about how much we see from not just the world, but the characters that inhabit it and how much they change in a 2 hour. Am I the only one that felt this movie wasn't just 2 hours? Like so much happened in it,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it
for
felt
real.
like it was a series.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this stuff was fantastic. Soundtrack I gave an 8. I wasn't a huge fan of all of the music, but the music that played during the Lord battles was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't dock it much. Plot, I gave it 10. I think this is a well-rounded plot. It doesn't fall into the tropes that it could have. VA performance, I gave a 9 because a lot of the voice acting is top-notch. Again, I don't think it's 100% perfect, but still giving it a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Art style, I gave a 10. I think the character designs and the design of the world is beautiful. Uniqueness, I gave a 9 just because it does have some of the same aspects of what we talked about in the beginning. And recommendability, I gave a 10 for a 95, and I think that might be on the lower end compared to other people.
Oh, yeah. Mine might be pretty high.
Cool.
Phoenix?
I think we should have Wiki go last.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Crimson.
Okay. So, personal enjoyment for me is a 10. I love this movie. I thought it was great. Animation, I gave a 9. It was really good animation.
How dare you give it a
almost-
9?
It's almost perfect animation. It's really good though. It's solid animation. Character development, I give it 10. I mean, that's kind of what this whole movie was about. Was about the development of these characters and trying to, live together and be together basically. And the death of Komatetsu.
He didn't die.
Well, reincarnated.
In order to reincarnate, you
Yeah.
must die.
No,
Yes.
I don't feel like it. I feel like
Yeah.
reincarnating without dying.
they didn't say that in this world. They didn't say that's how that worked.
That's just definition of the world
No.
of the word, moving from one life
Nope.
to the next life.
Nope.
In order to break that barrier
Mm-mm.
between life and life, you must first die.
Nope.
That it,
You know what I thought was gonna happen? He's gonna get reincarnated, but I didn't know if
As
he
a
was gonna be
slime.
a god. But he's gonna get reincarnated as a baby in the human world, and you were gonna see a baby walk up on Kyuto.
What it's like trying to deal.
That'd be funny.
The fuck you mean, nuh-uh?
Soundtrack, I gave an 8. I thought the soundtrack was really good for the show. World building and plot, I gave both 10s. I thought that the world building in this was incredible and the plot was fantastic. VA performance and art style, I both gave 9s. I thought the VA performance was really well done in this show, and I loved the art style of each character and the unique style that each one kind of had. Uniqueness, I gave an 8. Excuse me. It's a very unique show. It does take some concepts from other shows, as we discussed, from Spirited Away at the beginning of it, and some of the style with Sunny Boy and stuff. It takes some of it, but the story itself is very unique enough that it separates itself from others while still having kind of the same little things that happen in
I
other
agree.
shows. Recommendation, I gave it 10. I'm absolutely recommending those to people. I think that this is a incredible movie. So total for me is a 93.
Nice. For me, personal enjoyment, this is Ario Machini, by the way. In case you couldn't tell by my seductive voice.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, how's it going? You want those heels?
Is it I'd always end up healing before.
Yeah.
I feel so bad.
So personal enjoyment, I gave it 10. Start to finish, loved this movie. Animation, I'm giving it a 10. It's like I said earlier, if you can have 3D character models, and I like it, it's gonna be a 10. With how much I talk shit about 3D character models, if I'm gonna like it, it's gonna be a 10. There's just no way around that. Sorry. And everything about it was beautiful. Character development, I give a 10. It's not even just between the Bear Dad and Bear Padawan. It's every character around them goes through growth. Even the girl that he hangs out with for 20 minutes, she even goes through a lot of growth in the short amount of time that she's in the movie. So yeah, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, I gave an 8. Like you were saying, especially during the fights, it was really good.
Okay, I'll bump down the soundtrack by 1.
Right on. World building, I gave a 10. Right out the gate, it starts telling us about how the functions of the two world works. We know that, about the political systems in the Beast world. We know that the two worlds kind of affect each other. The show tries really hard to make sure that we understand what's going on, and I respect that. Plot, I gave a 10. The way that the story is told is masterful. It had me drawn in the entire time, even though by the time I was watching it, I was dead tired. It kept me awake and engaged. Voice acting, I gave a 9. I probably won't say that it's perfect. It was very fitting, very emotional. I loved the cast. Yep. That's all I really say about that. Art style, I gave a 10. Just truly, the way that this whole movie looked, just the visuals for it, the art style, the animation, all of that, absolutely beautiful. Like, in terms of cinema being artwork, this piece of cinema is like true art.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Uniqueness, I give an 8. We of course started the review comparing this movie to other things, so it's not like 100% its own thing.
Yep.
But the way that but it still sets itself apart, and the things that make it like relatable to other things, it still mixes those kind of concepts together in a way that it stands out.
Yeah.
It's hard in this day and age to have something that's like 100% unique, because everything is based off of something else.
That's fair.
I mean, honestly, even the things that we have given like 10s to uniqueness in the past are probably still based off of things that we just didn't experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, 8. Recommendability 10. Guys,
Watch it.
watch this movie. I'm gonna be telling everybody to watch this movie.
If you haven't watched it, you're doing yourself an injustice.
Yeah, like even the stuff that we've been talking about, even though this is not a spoiler-free review. So if you have not watched this movie and you've been listening to us talk about that, I promise you, we have not done it justice. And there's still so much that we did not even touch on in our discussions.
Exactly.
This movie is packed, but not in a way that makes it like overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's bussin'.
Unequivocally.
on God, for real.
No cap.
It's bussin', not busy.
Yeah, exactly. My total is 95.
Hell yeah.
All right, Wiki, give us your 100 rating. The
Hey,
first
hey.
100 of the.
He said he bumped down the soundtrack
Okay,
one.
Okay, give it the 99. Like we.
Boy and the Beast. Person Drama was a 10. I fucking love this movie. If you guys couldn't tell, animation, I gave it 10. I thought the animation fits so well with the show. Even if it is not on the level of some of the most beautiful anime, it all comes down to, does everything move correct? Yes. Does everything look good when it moves? Yes. Do the elements that they use in this show, like fire, water, all that stuff, look good when it moves? Yes. Does it fit the style that the show was supposed to do? The way this show looked for the art style, the animation fit that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I look for, I feel like. Especially with this, and why I gave it a 10. Character development, I gave a 10. It was so fucking good, dude. Not only the relationship, so the Kyuta, not only just in terms of development, he developed more than one way. His relationship with Kuma, his relationship with himself, his relationship with his father.
This is already more insight you've given on your ratings ever.
Yeah.
This is the most passionate thing he has ever talked about on this podcast.
And we reviewed Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good when Wiki describes his ratings.
And not just shoot out numbers.
He either really loves it or really fucking hates it.
Facts. Soundtrack, I gave a 9 out of 10. It was a 10 out of 10. I still feel like I should put it at a 10, but I don't want to be too biased. I feel like the songs and the sounds that they use throughout the show. Again, same thing with animation. The fact that the songs that they chose and the sound, the music during the fight scenes, all fit the vibe of what the show was trying to portray. I feel like perfectly.
For me personally, the only reason I didn't give it higher was because they didn't necessarily like stick with me after the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, they were good. It was good music for the show. For what it was portraying in the show. Yeah.
I think you're on world building.
Yeah, but I gave it a 9, and I don't want to give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
I think you gave World Building a 10.
That's right here.
I think you gave it a 10.
I
I
think
definitely think you could give it a 10.
I give it a 10.
All right, I'll give it a 10. I'm bumping the score.
I mean, it explains everything we need to know.
Okay, yeah, I'm giving World Building a 10 for the same things they just said. Plot, I gave a 10. I fucking love the idea and concept behind this movie so much. voice acting performance, I gave it a 10. I had no qualms about any of the voice actors. I didn't pay attention to any of the lips during this movie because I didn't think about it. You know what I mean? That would have probably dropped down voice acting quite a bit.
Most of them have snouts anyway.
Yeah, it just
Not a lot
I
of
feel
lips.
like all the voices fit the characters that they were meant to portray. Art style, I give a 10. I fucking fuck with this shit, dude. I fuck with it, dude. Uniqueness, I gave a 10. Yes, it did talk about, and it'll show what Zaria was saying. We find in every show that we review or movie we review, we pick aspects of things that reminds us from other shows. It may not necessarily have taken it from it, but at the same time, it still reminds us of that. But and remember when we first started talking about uniqueness and the fact that, yes, things can share elements, but what makes it truly unique is if they do it better and make it their own. I feel like a lot of these concepts that we talked about and some things that it takes from other shows did it and made it better.
Sure.
Personally. And recommendability, I give a 10. Everybody should watch this. Even your dad.
Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Especially your dad.
Yeah.
Especially your bear dad.
Yep.
Yeah. For a total of 99 out of 100.
That, Jesus Christ. So it was going to be 100. It was almost going to be the first 100 of our entire
100%.
podcast.
Yeah, I almost did it.
So that brings the average to 96, which now I'm pretty sure is our highest.
Easily.
That's got to be our highest.
It's ahead of season 2 of Tokyo Revengers, which was 95, and that was number 1.
Yeah.
Do you have the
Your
chart?
rating for Tokyo Revengers season 2 was 1 point less than this movie.
He also gave Violet Evergarden a 98.
So he also gave this movie a higher score than Violet Evergarden.
Yes, because it's our first 99.
That's fair. Madness.
Dude, you guys are just lucky I'm not Mob. I'd be
Yeah, you'd be like right there. Let's see. Yeah, let's see the last like really high score. Yeah, Tokyo Revengers we had a 95, and then wasn't that the previous highest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it beat out Violet Evergarden. Because I think Evergarden was at 92.
Sounds kind of yeah. Yep, Violet Evergarden was 92. To Your Eternity was 91. Season 1 of Promised Neverland was 91. The things that could have been. Oh yeah, we gave Arcane a 91 too. Yeah, we all.
And that's not even anime.
Yeah.
Oh, Arcane, yeah.
Isn't the
Alright,
next
Wiki, you
season of
wanna,
that coming out soon?
It's supposedly been coming out for 2 years.
It's supposed to be coming out at the end of this year. That's the plan. They announced an official release of winter of this year.
Cool.
On God.
No cap.
For real, for real.
Staying on
Wiki, you want to
business.
reiterate what our anime assignment is?
Susan May. Woo.
I'm excited for it.
I'm going to go home and rewatch The Boy and the Beast.
That doesn't surprise me. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
I love that so much.